Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelorette Recap. Starts June 7, 2021. We've got Katie Thurston, the next up-and-coming Bachelorette. She's already taped her season in New Mexico. And we've got her in San Diego on a vacation visiting some friends and former castmates. Post this very sexy photo being kissed, I believe, on the neck right there under the sign, girls, girls, girls. And of course, part of being, I guess, in the public eye, in the spotlight, is that you find out, when you do something that may or may not be problematic. And I'm not saying I believe this to be problematic, but I will say this. I understand your opinion that you might not want to hear from me, a straight white guy, and what I think about the term queer baiting. Now, I just heard this term today, so I'm not here to even make a judgment about it. But like any good topic that's brought to my table, that's brought to light, we like to discuss it, find the nuance here. Is this queer baiting? Was Katie trying to exploit the thought that she might be bisexual for clicks or views? Or was she having a fun moment with the girl? Aren't we all on a spectrum of sorts with our sexuality? Like, take me, for example. I'm engaged to a lady. I consider myself heterosexual. But there's still an attraction for people of my own gender? Absolutely. I don't think Tyler Cameron's beautiful, or I love the dimples within Nick Lachey's cheeks? I mean, there's plenty. Matthew McConaughey, you kidding me? He was shirtless for like 3 years straight, and I was like trying to give up carbs. You understand that the attraction is kind of on a spectrum, and Katie posts whatever floats your boat, which is, her way of posting something as an ally, I'm assuming, for the... For people that aren't heteronormative, I guess you would say. Look at me. Geez, 36, learning all these words. Not a bad thing to grow and evolve, folks. Not a bad thing whatsoever. So I guess the question becomes, do people have a right to have their sort of either outrage or disgruntledness over the fact that maybe she, as a straight person, is toying with or baiting with the idea of being having bisexual tendencies, or is she just showing love? And I lean on the love part. I leave on the fact that most people are trying the best with the information that they have. And I like I said about the Albert Einstein quote, you got to decide if you live in a friendly universe or a hostile universe. I think Katie lives in a friendly universe. I don't think she thought twice about posting a photo where she's getting kissed on the cheek. Let's do this. Let's just go back and recap Katie's day yesterday, okay? Katie's out there in San Diego visiting her friends. They do brunch on a Monday, which is great. And of course, we have Alana right here making sure she doesn't dilute her beverage. You don't want it to be too watered down. These waiters, they just try to serve you nothing but orange juice. So to combat that, she makes sure her mimosa only has a molecule of orange added to it right there. They're ready to go. These girls are having a good time. They're having fun. Sarah Trott's in the house. What's up? Good to see you. She says, a weird thing just happened to me. Guess what? Boom. Katie Thurston. What? Can you believe it? Alive in the flesh. Great, cute. They show up, the ladies. I mean, imagine being someone just walking that, imagine this guy in the background here trying to have a nice Monday morning, and all of a sudden you just got booze bags hanging out. Gotta love the booze bag. She hasn't been on a vacation in a year and a half. Let her live her life. Hashtag free Katie. So the point is, she had a blast out there. They're doing White Claws. They're welcoming. Sydney shows up. The whole party's going on. Nothing but butt cheeks and sun, as you like to do. Getting that pose in. Shoot it from a low angle. If you're a shorty, get up on a toadstool. Do what you need to do to get that angle. Right, ladies? You do you. So they're doing their thing. They're having fun. They're drinking till sunset. Good for them. Absolutely. So here they are at Dr. Love Grove. I don't know anything about it. Respectfully socially distanced. Chasen's there. The whole crowd. Chris Randone recently broke up. She gets kissed right there. So kissing's happening. We got a lot of kissing happening. So I guess the question is, it's like when you look at it from like a where's the moral line between queer baiting and what the hell is queer baiting? So let's just read this article here and we'll talk about it. Because I don't believe that's what's happening. But respectfully, I'd like to get more educated on the situation. Ariana Grande has been accused of queer baiting with her new single Monopoly, in which she sings of liking women and men. Since releasing the song, a collaboration with Victoria Monet, the singer's fans have been questioning whether the lyric is a nod to the singer's bisexuality. However, others are criticizing the pop star for queer baiting, a term used to describe purposely teasing the possibility of being queer in an effort to appeal to audiences. Looking at you, Colton Underwood. No, that what he's doing is not queer baiting. He's just monetizing his coming out of the closet. That's just what he's doing. Which I'm neither judging him, but I believe that's what it would be called. This is everything you need to know about queer baiting. What is queer baiting? Glad you could ask. Queer baiting is essentially a marketing ploy that celebrities, TV, and film writers and authors use to appeal to an LGBTQ plus audience. The practices see straight celebrities hint at being queer in songs, interviews, or music videos so that their sexuality becomes ambiguous. While appealing to LGBTQ plus fans, queer baiting also avoids alienating a main audience by never fully embracing a queer sexuality. So they're saying queer baiting is when you're playing both sides of the coin. Now the question becomes intent. Don't we do this? Don't we critically think and look at intent? So the question becomes, does Katie Thurston have any intent to sell you guys something about her, or is she just having a nice moment with a friend? She's not selling anything here. It's not to boost her fandom. Everyone knows she went on a show to find love. She's said in interviews that she's heterosexual, that she's straight. I don't know. I don't see the profiting off of the idea here, the tease, as it were. I don't see that profiting. I can understand, you're making a song. I kissed a girl and I liked it. The taste of her cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it. I hope my boyfriend don't mind it. It felt so wrong. It felt so right. Don't mean I'm in love tonight. I kissed a girl and I liked it. I liked it. But that's not queer baiting either. You could be straight and kiss somebody and like it. You give me someone with the plushest lips. You kiss them. You're going to like it. Prove me wrong. Show me some lips. Come on, someone, give me a kiss. Somebody, love me. Please, hug me. Call me. I'm kidding, folks. The point is, it brings to question the idea of queer baiting, and just because a straight person's, is kissed by another and they post a photo, does that make it queer baiting? And let's read a couple comments. Co-ed Bachelorette season, everyone's looking forward to it. When they said there was going to be a big announcement on the upcoming Bachelorette, which turned out to be that it's going to be Katie Thurston and then Michelle Young, that turned out to be the announcement. But before, when they teased there was a big announcement, I thought it was going to be that Katie was going to have some women on the show and that she was going to say she was bisexual. No one teased that. They didn't queer bait that at all. That was just kind of the impression that people thought. Whenever everyone hears of a big, like when Colton's like, there's a big announcement, everyone's like, what, that you're going to admit that you put a tracking device under the trunk of your ex-girlfriend's car? No, that he's gay. That's the announcement. So someone says, no queer baiting, thanks. So let's see what Emma says, no queer baiting. And then someone said, exactly, this is the worst. Is it queer baiting if she's bi? Genuinely asking. Now, Katie has said in post that she isn't bi. Not if she's bi, but she hasn't said she is. So then someone says STFU, which means please be quiet in the teen speak. If they both are, then nah. So basically, if Katie's bi, she's allowed to post a photo being kissed on the neck. If she's not bi, this is where you start to have to ask questions. If she's bi, she's allowed to post this photo. If she's not, it's queer baiting. But what is she baiting? Who is she baiting? This isn't to promote the show. She's not saying, come see me June 7th on The Bachelorette. That's not what's happening here. So someone said, but when Brendan and Dr. Joe do it, it's cool. Got it. So then there was the question about Brendan and Dr. Joe. Is this queer baiting? Bachelor Nation bromance. Dr. Joe Park gives Brendan Moraes a haircut in sweet video. And it could be. They might have gotten a lot of attention for their bromance, so they played it up. It could be. I don't know what they're profiting off of, other than sharing the love. But again, I'm sure in a comment I will be told I'm wrong. Maybe it's not just about profiting off of, but just giving the overall air that there is something there that is not. But I don't know. I think we live in a generation where homophobia has been so strongly ingrained in our society. I talk about this on stage doing stand-up. I talk about this all the time. How my dad can't hug me, but he has to pat me on the back as if that's going to keep the gay off of him. There's a generation that can't hug themselves. They got to do. There's a generation that can't share their love for each other. And I think our generation, those millennial, I'm an older millennial, but the millennials, I think we just want to embrace each other, embrace how we feel and are happy to see each other. If this was I don't know. So if I was the judge, which I'm not, because my opinion is probably doesn't matter here because I'm not in a minority group that this would affect. But in my opinion, I go, look, What's the intention? Are we leading with love or not? Is this a story, or am I just, what are we doing here? We love to see a queer bachelorette, and of course, that's not what's happening here. Bestie, if you're queer baiting, that isn't cute. Bisexual woman here, but it's okay when the guys do it. Cool, cool, cool. Definitely didn't say it's okay. Guys do it. Queer baiting is a no, period. Anyway, obvious disclaimer. I don't know her sexuality, hence why I used if in my OG comment. All right, so let's see what they say over here on Reddit. We like Reddit. We like to hear what they have to say. Now, of course, Reddit and a lot of social media will skew left, which that's just how the internet kind of works with certain subreddits. Certain subreddits might skew right, but as far as the Bachelor subreddit goes, they're going to look at this with a critical eye. So let's listen to what they have to say. Y'all gone call this queer baiting, but when Dr. Joe and Brendan do something, it's funny. Not gonna lie, I didn't realize they were so familiar until this comment, but true. Joe and Brendan do the exact same thing, angle it to the female gaze. You bring a good point I never thought about. Okay, well, I'm listening. I'm sure someone's going to say, oh, I've got this horrible point of view on it. No, I'm being open. But first and foremost, Katie Thurston, excuse me, I don't believe for one second Katie Thurston had any ill intention by posting that, which you have to take into account and weigh that side of things. You have to. My gay male friends have been offended by so much of the Joe and Brendan content and how much people laugh about it. The videos where one pretends to cheat. When Brendan posted a photo of him in a mask kissing Joe for his birthday, my friend was like, I still hesitate posting affectionate photos with my husband, and it's just a joke to these straight guys trying to get Insta likes and hook up with models. I didn't think the content was that funny or creative before, but after hearing from my friends, I've stopped engaging with it. It's clearly their shtick for Insta likes. They've got a point here. They've got an actual point here that there are gay people that literally in parts of the world are targets and their life is at risk for sharing their sexuality. This is a fact. This exists in parts of the world. We had a call from one of our listeners in Pakistan talk about this, how there's just no gay scene. It's all undercover. And that's exactly how it works in certain countries. And in ours, there are hate crimes with transsexual. I mean, of course. So if someone's doing content to be like, I'm kissing someone, and that's the big gag. I mean, that happens, SNL does it every season where there's a big like male on male kiss, and that's the gag because they're two straight people kissing. So there's like the punchline, as a stand-up comic, you look at this as the punchline. The setup is, these two people are heterosexual. The punchline is that they're moving closer. Are they actually going to do it? And then they kiss. This happens every season. And then the audience goes bananas. And then, when you have to look at the demand of a joke, the cutting the tension, why are people going bananas? Is it at the expense of gay relationships because it's not normalized enough? Maybe. And you can't hate people for laughing at a joke. You can't hate people for getting excited when they see two ladies kiss, but you can sort of dissect it and talk about it in a way that it makes you understand, why are we doing this? Again, doesn't make it necessarily bad. It doesn't make this necessarily queer baiting. But after this person's comment, I would cite this comment as saying, oh, so someone who's gay that has a hard time posting about their husband because they know they get backlash, then you get to see two well-known influencers talking about Brendan and Joe here kiss, and it makes you wonder, like, are they mocking me? And being mocked cannot feel good, for sure. So I give it some credence here. Is that even a word? I don't know. Women who love women are fetishized in ways that men who love men never are. The reasons we love when Brendan and Dr. Joe do this is because it's the antithesis to the homophobic no-homo culture. On the flip side, women queer baiting plays into the lesbian fetishization by the same culture. I do really like Katie, so this is not coming from a place of anti-Katie bias. Of course. Now, so this comment kind of defends Brendan and Dr. Show, saying it's the antithesis of the homophobic no-homo culture. I mean, I guess it just depends on how you look at it. One could say they're mocking them. One, you could say, no, they're just embracing the fact that they love each other, that they're not sexual, but they would, boy. People are just outraged because they don't like Katie. Maybe. This comment is seriously dismissive. Queer baiting is a real concern that people have a right to be upset about. Honestly, I like Katie in general. I don't like this Instagram post. Thanks for the feedback. What I did not articulate well is that no one seems to be concerned when Brendan and Dr. Joe queerbait, which they have done on multiple occasions, and yet with Katie is a major topic of discussion and concern. My conclusion about the discrepancy is that people are upset because they don't like Katie. Additionally, I don't know the percentage of LGBT Q plus, she missed a Q there, folks on here, but I don't think it's a jump to assume the majority of people who are here expressing their outrage are straight and not queer. That's fair. Personally, I haven't seen any of the Brendan and Dr. Joe posts, and I wouldn't be surprised if others haven't either. Part of that discrepancy might just be that Katie is getting a lot more attention right now than they are. Yeah, I would say that's a lot of it, is that Katie's getting a lot of attention. And for Katie, I mean, she's going to have to come to terms with dealing with the fact that a lot of what she does will be scrutinized by a minority of people. And I say minority as in, if she posts that and gets 50,000 likes, there might be 100 or 1,000, but it's still like a very small amount, respectfully, that would understand what queer baiting is and have that conversation. For someone like me, willing to talk it out and have the conversation, initially I'd go, queer baiting? What are you talking about? But then you go, okay. While I don't know if I would tell Katie to not post a photo where she kisses a girl, I do understand why people would get upset with queer baiting. Queer men are nowhere near as sexualized and fetishized as queer women too. There's a lot of nuance to this topic. Nuance is correct. There's a lot of nuance indeed. Twisting this into a feminist issue to avoid the topic at hand is not the way to go. We can hold both accountable. Alrighty. So, I don't know. That comes down to the question, is it sexually charged? Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. But of course, we have to operate under the assumption that Katie's means no harm here. And I mean that for all the contestants, even the people that I don't root for. Obviously, I'm rooting for Katie's season. I really think it's going to be a good one. June 7th, 2021. But with that said, is intention's very important. So you can talk about queer baiting all you want, and it's good to know that these terms exist. Of course, we know, working in comedy, I have jokes about my relationship with gay friends of mine. I have jokes about about the masculinity and sexuality, because you do with comedy, and I'm not saying that's what she's doing here, but with comedy in my world, you do play off of stereotypes of what people are attracted to and what their fears are and homophobia and things like that. But when you make jokes about it, at least in my world, making fun of something sheds light on it just as much as, you have to be careful and learn very quickly as a comic, not to mock something, not to punch down, but to punch up. Do you understand? So for me, not to make fun of a gay person, but to make fun of how I would react in a situation with some of my gay friends or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I hope you understand what I'm talking about here. So the point is, it's all about framing. And with Katie, when you're framing this photo, it seems like a lot to do about nothing to someone who doesn't understand queer baiting. But then you can understand, okay, there's a conversation to be had. But at the same time, I would also say it's perfectly fine. I mean, she didn't even post something like, wow, this girl's so cute, she might turn me gay. You know what I mean? Whatever floats your boat. And if floating your boat means getting a kiss on the neck from a friend, go for it. I've had guy friends kiss me. I lived in France. Everyone kisses each other. Nice bazoo on the cheek, you kiss each other. That's what you do. I mean, I guess the guys don't hook me like that. Oh, hold on, I got a pop up there. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let's see if I have any other. I want to make sure I didn't miss any tabs here. That's the back end. Oh, here it is. So if you guys didn't check it out yet, I've also got a video I just released about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez back together, reacting to Bennifer reuniting. They had a photo spotted in Montana after 17 years back together. So if you guys want to go click on that, that's my next video. And let me know what you guys think about all this. Please keep it respectful. Understand we're all trying the best with the information that we have, not trying to be dismissive of anybody whatsoever, and just trying to have a conversation about the nuance of it all. With all that said, I'm sure someone's going to leave a comment saying, Dave, you're an a-hole, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, you know what? That's your opinion of me is none of my business. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Be kind out there. Bye-bye now.